Some stories are heard, others become legendary. Welcome to the Becoming Legendary podcast, hosted by Ana Rita Valente, the visibility architect and the fame activator. Real stories, raw conversations, legendary impact.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I need to stop saying this, but I'm getting annoyed with name becoming legendary because in real, I just have legendary people here. So, that being said, I start to be bored of myself. That being said, I'm very raw. And I'm very I use a lot of AI in many things, but I love to be very raw and very honest on this. And if you can see, I was just crying. And I was crying. I cry a lot.
Oh, good.
But
Okay.
I was crying reading preparing myself for you.
Oh,
So, in first place, Nancy, present yourself to us.
okay,
Um,
great. Hello, everybody, all new friends and old friends. Welcome here. I am Nancy Hart. I'm an award-winning author. I am a spiritual author, a motivational speaker, and a master storyteller. So I'm told.
yeah,
So I love diverse cultures, and I sharpen my eye for the rich, complex characters that I like to bring to life. And I love raw because I too am raw. Love it.
you said like you tick. Oh, okay. Um, I um, I was just reading a post. So I was just reading a post. Then I wrote. And the fact that you are saying that in storytelling, I totally see myself on that. And then you always you said something that is exactly the same. I lived all over the world. So I was born in Lisbon. I grew up in Africa on a cocoa farm. I'm in Mexico right now. You name it. Like
Wow.
I was international DJ. I toured 56 countries.
Whoa.
I adore to learn, to observe, to respect,
Ah,
and to um to in there is so many things then we can laugh between cultures because when you know many different cultures you have much more ability to
yes.
problem solve or to
Yes.
even enjoy life.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I will say something before I go anywhere. When I'm a very, you say spiritual, me too. I'm
Yes.
very intuitive, and
And
I
me
think
too.
you can feel that. We
Yeah.
are feeling
Yeah.
it.
You're my soul sister.
Yeah, we are feeling that. And it was something about your story, what I was reading. And I was reading my posts in the way that I write. Um, and the raw comes from something. When I became famous, so one day I was a teenager mom, drop out high school. I was an entrepreneur at 19. I did all wrong things. Well, all what they say wrong. Then when they tell you, no, it's not going to work, and I say, watch me. Like, it's the best thing that someone can do. And
Yeah.
when I decided one day I did beat my head with the wall and say, I had to be famous. It before social media. So on the time when like Britney was poor her famous, like tabloids could say it's insane if you look back. The things that
Yeah.
people could tell about you without your permission. And I became famous, but people did not know exactly how to put me on the box because I was intelligent, but I had, let's say, shape, and I was sexy, and I had kids, and it was so confusing for people. And I'm not Catholic, so in Portugal I was very Catholic. I'm not. It's not that I'm not Catholic. I'm not baptized. So
Oh,
um, I start being. Oh, in the same time, when I become famous, I is the moment that I have less money, and I go in bankruptcy to my company, and I have debts for people. So I start being famous, and I start being blackmailed. So
oh.
I'm going to do to tell to the press this, and
Mhm.
it was ridiculous to the point where the ex-wife of someone who did the work on my shop could appear with some papers in a Hello Kitty t-shirts on the front. It was ridiculous,
Oh,
ridiculous.
okay.
I had the cover of a newspaper, I swear to God, second newspaper, saying Rita Gidio, then it's my original, my father's name. It was, you can still Google it. Rita Gidio did not pay the rent this month. And that was the front, was
Oh
13
gosh.
February 2006. I know because it was before Valentine's Day. And I was like, okay,
Oh,
so this is all, and sorry, I'm totally hijacking your podcast, and that is really normal in me. I talk a lot, but I'm going to bring the raw part here.
okay, good. Let's bring the raw
Because,
part.
because why I'm telling all this BS is one day I was so under stress of the blackmailing.
Mm,
Then I was doing this campaign for cat food. And the journalist is there to promote the campaign. And I don't even know how I did it, but I just told, then I had debt and I was in bankruptcy. And I did not have money. But to be honest, I did not even remember that in that time. And it was very interesting because 2 days after that, I'm watching the TV at 7 a.m. and they are showing the magazines. I have that magazine. I swear I will put on the edit here. And it showed the magazines of the day. And then I see a cover, and my first thought is, oh, I know that girl. She's pretty. Oh, fuck. It's me. And the thing was, Rita Gidio says she's full of debt and she's in bankruptcy.
oh,
And the first thing I was a kid. I was 25. And
yeah.
the first thing I did was start texting all the people who were blackmailing me and start saying, I swear to God, "Nye, nye, 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 nye. What are you going to do now?" And it's a long explanation, but this is why many times on social media, people are scared because they want to represent the thing they are not. And
Yeah,
if
I
for
don't have that
me
before.
is bring just full,
Yes, yes.
your
I don't have
full,
that problem. And
I know, but
I do understand what you're saying because the culture, like with my first book, which is Whispers, Sinners, and Saints, it is so raw and authentic that a lot of people, not men, they can handle it, but a lot of women, they cannot handle it because it is so raw and authentic. And I think it comes from what you just said, put a light bulb in my mind, is because we've traveled and seen so many different cultures and lived so many different cultures that we just want to say how it is. And a lot of people that have not had that exposure,
oh yeah.
uh, I have to put a warning before they read that book. Not the second and the third, but the first book comes with a warning.
I was going to your books, but I just did once because sorry because I was I I don't know. I have 5 kids and
Mm,
I have a younger one, then I don't know where it is. And it's a long story. I left home and I was ashamed for the reasons. And now I start seeing then what did happen to me did happen to many people.
Mhm.
So I'm healing. That it's a very weird position. A mom who leaves their kids is like no explanation. At least for me, if someone told me. So I did hide that, and I damaged myself a lot for many years with that secret because telling whatever was going to be the solution was not good.
Yes.
And I was
Yeah.
reading the post and I wrote last year about that. And I just felt for example, many people ask me why I never wrote a book. And
It's
I was
hard.
reading many my life is funny.
Yeah.
It's yeah, we are sisters on that. But I always joke and say something, and this is my respect to you. It's much more easy to undress yourself for Playboy cover anniversary than it is to write a book.
I love that line. That's a very good line. Wow. And you know what? That's really true. I believe that's true. And I think you have to really be able to park your ego.
That is
If you
exactly what I have not been doing in all these
don't,
podcasts. No. But
about it. So it's good. That's good. That's good that you own it. You know, you see it and you say it, you're on your way.
yeah, it's your time. I kind of, in a certain way, maybe I just did want kind of to show off a little bit because I really have already a lot of respect for you. So I'm trying
Oh,
to create any
oh.
look, I'm good. It's
You're
very
good. You
silly.
know,
It's very
I
silly.
love you just the way you are. You
It's very
really are a
silly.
beautiful person, and I appreciate you. You're actually more in tune with yourself than I meet a lot of people. And you gave me probably the first or number two best compliment I ever got in my life. So I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'll be sleeping good tonight.
No,
It's
I,
very
I, where we start with you, because one of one of the things that we have in common
Mhm.
is we had beginning then was not full of unicorns and fairy tales.
I think it was more unicorn manure than a unicorn.
I don't know where you want to start.
Well, I could say that,
Point one, let me tell you, you are beautiful.
oh, thank you so
You
much.
are beautiful.
For
Beautiful.
67, not too bad. For 67, not too
Me.
bad.
I look like I was like I'm 45 and I feel then I was crossed over by a truck. But okay, let's
No,
look
no, no.
let's but that is another
Beauty
podcast.
shines,
That
beauty
is a,
shines from within, beauty shines from within, and from the words and from the smile. If a person has a beautiful smile, you
Mm,
can feel it. Well, okay, I could start with saying that resilience is what I've learned. That little me never knew how strong I was. And people used to tell me, "Do you know how strong you were?" And they would repeat it. And I would go home and I'd say, "Oh my God, me. I was verbally abused, physically abused. I had a highly mentally something disturbed mother. She survived the war and was her and my grandmother were the only survivors. So they came out to America, but my mother came first, and that was the best thing she ever did for me was I love America. I love that I'm free. I love that I could speak my mind. I love that if you come from nothing like where my mother came from, that she was able to make something of herself. That hope is just an amazing ability. So that probably, she was always driving herself, even though she had really, she was really challenged. War had beaten something that was good and kind and sweet and gentle, just beat her like a woman that you see with a stick beating a carpet, the dust out of the carpet. She just was nothing like that, nothing good. And I loved her though, because when my grandmother died, I only had her for 5 years. I was, I at 11 kind of became my mother's mother. And it was very difficult. I grew up in New York City, Manhattan.
Manhattan, I know. I adore Manhattan. I was going there, but okay.
Manhattan. So I was 3 years old walking the streets of Manhattan because my grandmother hadn't come yet. I was 5 when she arrived. So my mother would tell me to get out on the street and go walk to the park, which is about a quarter of a mile away, and then stay at the park all day and then return by yourself. She'd never show up at the park. And I could not, when I went, I had to go from when the sun came up until the sun came down. That's a long time in the summer.
Oh my
That's
God, yes, I know.
that's a
I
long time.
know.
No
I
food.
spend a lot of time in Manhattan on summer. Yes.
Yeah. And it was rough. Where I grew up, it was Irish gangs. The boys were all Irish
I
gangs.
was going to ask you, so they came from Europe, from the Second War, right? But from where, what part?
Hungary. So I speak
Oh,
Hungarian. Yes.
okay. Okay.
Yes,
My respects is an amazing country. And
it is.
extra is the country who create escape rooms, what I love, but that is another story. It's a beautiful cultural. Oh, I know one word.
Okay.
Virak, flower?
Peanut flower.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Oh, I love it. Yesterday I was writing about a piece about a lotus flower. So very nice. That's funny that you would say that. I don't believe in coincidences. Lovely.
Mm.
Yeah, so go ahead and you can ask me any questions that come into your
I,
mind.
it's it's like going to sound so cheesy. It's like I'm looking to you and I'm seeing so much of me
Ah,
because my mom died when I was 10 and I became the not adult for my dad and for all the drama that did happen. So I grew up in this really lovely couple in the island with full of friends where money had no value, but there was a lot of music and etc. And my dad and my mom, they work together, they love each other, they are the best friends, and she died with malaria.
wow.
And I always say, then I lost him as well. Then I lost him 1 year ago because he decided so. Let's put it
Wow.
like that.
Okay.
But I see that, and I don't know about you. You have brothers?
I have nobody. I have
Okay.
no brothers. I have no sisters.
Okay.
I never knew my father.
Okay.
So I had no uncles or aunts. All I had was this mentally deranged mother and my grandmother. I had her for 5 years. So that was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I had no friends, I had no brothers, no sisters. I had dogs, cats, horses, and I
Okay.
had a mirror.
You had a what?
A
A mirror?
mirror. I always
Oh, a
pronounce wrong. A
mirror.
mirror.
Yeah, that's very good.
Mirror.
That is very
Yes.
good. You had a mirror.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
one day I was having this conversation saying then I feel always very comfortable in front of the camera and I on stage and because I the reflection was my friend.
Yes,
And
yes.
someone said to me, that
Ah,
sounds so sad. And I was like, I never did think like that. So funny. Oh, and I was always on top of trees and yeah, so and I was always as well very intuitive. So I
Mhm.
grew up, you have Africa. So for
Mhm.
majority of people who can imagine, it's a continent, not a country, as I listen some people saying. So, and it has the equator, and in France, in the middle of the Atlantic Sea. So you can imagine here is greenish, here is this the equator, and here is two little volcanic islands. 130,000 people did live there, so it's for you to have an idea.
Wow.
We didn't know everyone, from the president to my mom always teach me, then you need to learn with every person, what I think is so great.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm there and I'm growing up with the simple things in life because
Mhm.
money had no value. And at the same time, and there is a part of, and I'm going back and forth in all what you did. There is a part that really touched my heart is um, forgiving people who other people, like something that I know about you is you are not a victim
No, I'm not. That's
at
right.
all, at all.
No.
I'm exactly the same. I
Yes,
never did hate any person. I don't allow that.
that's right. That's right.
But sometimes as well can be very overwhelming because let's be honest, they did deserve some slaps in that face. But
Yeah.
that is another story. But
Well, yeah. I
I'm
believe.
not talking about. I was not talking necessarily about your mother or your family. I'm talking
No,
about
no. I
other.
find well because I believe like this. You go to school and you get a lesson and then you get a test. But in life, you get a test, and if you're smart, you get a lesson. So everybody, good, bad, ugly, this, that, doesn't matter. They all are there in your life to give you a lesson. And it is important because when you see the bad for being bad and the worst for being the worst, you can like get a good sniffer and go, oh, I'm not going through that again.
Oh yeah, you
No,
can. Did you get hyper vigilant as well?
it's hyper vigilant is the word you're saying. I would say you
Intuition. I
would
don't
have
know.
it.
I don't know if
Yes,
it's a mix between because I can get in a room and I can read the room in 2 seconds.
yes. You can feel where the negative, it's like a vacuum pulling with, you know, it's going to suck all the energy out of you. I am clairvoyant. I'm clair in every way, voyant, clairaudient, clairsentient.
And we are
I've
going to
got
arrive there
all
in a
of
sec.
that stuff. Yeah. And
But
so, yeah.
I was touching that part, and I think it's really important. And um, in special, and I'm going back to the cultures. I don't know if it's I'm 45, so I don't know if it's because I'm in premenopause. And I when I started 5 years ago, and I just left my house, and I did want everyone to love me. I always did want everyone to love me. That is the reason why I married so many times and I had so many kids. And I finished alone. I am totally alone. So my biggest fear became my reality. And guess what? I survived to that. And
Okay.
but I arrived to a moment, and I work with a lot of I was a trend after the COVID of a lot of women 45 plus who did want to have a voice. What
Mm.
I'm here, and that is my mission, is amplifying the voices of everyone, not only women, but of everyone. But then when you are aware of the problems in the world and you even know how many problems did you overcome,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
sometimes can be a little annoying to
Mm-hmm.
listen to someone constantly
Mm-hmm.
complaining about something that has no, like, oh my God, I could not buy the iPhone 17. I still have an iPhone 12. Like,
You're reminding me, what do you came over my house and but you bugged my house and you hear me talking? What's going on?
it's like,
You
are
are saying
you
something I say a
serious?
lot. Yes.
I know, and this goes to, I
Yes.
know women who did need every single day to walk 3 hours to get a little part of water to
Right.
boil, to give
Yes.
water to their kids.
Yes.
And they are singing and dancing.
That's right. That's right.
Um, I
They
have
know the secret to life. That's why. And the reason that bothers us is we have to always stop ourselves. And we, meaning everybody has to stop that little mind and say, why does that bother me? When I hear somebody complain because the maid didn't show up, or because they broke a nail and they're having a horrible day, I
they cannot book they cannot book for today. Can you believe it? They
it's
cannot.
like the end of the world and they're crying. And I say to myself, there's different, I believe in reincarnation. And I
Me
say,
too.
there must be a new soul because they haven't experienced. And so they have gently flown in for this lifetime that they think that this is so difficult. And there, by the grace of God, go I might have been one of them once, but
So let's respect them.
so I will love them and send them love. And may I have such a wonderful life that that should be the worst thing that happens to me in my life, you know?
At the same time, one of the things that I believe saved my life was gratitude. And
Yeah, gratitude.
I
Yes.
do an exercise every, I'm lying, I'm not having been doing, but during many time I did a audio exercise every morning where I was doing 1 minute of audio of things that I was grateful for,
Yeah.
and not the car. I don't even own a car, but not the car. I'm I own a trolley when like most minimalist possible, but like the taste of the cinnamon on the cappuccino in the morning.
Yes, I like that one. That's a
The
nice one.
the colibri, how do you call it? You call it like the butterfly.
Uh-huh.
Then
Oh,
you
you're
oh
talking about the hummingbird.
hummingbirds. Yes,
Yeah,
sorry.
I know
Yeah,
that. Yeah, about
yeah,
that. That's good.
yeah.
Spanish paid off. Okay.
Yes, yes. I I just came from Colombia and I'm heartbroken with because I was on the place where like I hear then I did need to go out. And the place where I was part of that was destroyed. But
Oh.
let's not focus on that. And
Mhm.
on the mountains of Colombia, then I went to Colombia thinking then I was going to a ghetto and it's like the mountains, you have like 9,000 feet mountains and
Mhm.
you have these butterflies. Then if you try to take a photo, you cannot see it, but their wings are white and they flash the light. You know the
Are you talking about the
rainbow?
hummingbird? Are you talking about the
Oh no,
hummingbird
no,
or the
it's a
butterfly?
butterfly. It's a big
Butterfly.
white
Okay.
butterfly, but you
Yeah.
cannot find it online anywhere. And you can just see it there.
Like
It's
a
like
vampire. It's a vampire butterfly.
no, no, no,
Not a
no.
bad thing, but like when you take a picture of a vampire, you can't see it. It's like
Yeah, it's a vampire event. And the little things in life, like having this conversation with you right now,
yes. Yeah.
and is one of the best presents I can have.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
And
people, we need to do that. Yes.
and because of people go through so much,
Hmm.
many people, one of the things that I tell many times is like I lost all when I was so little.
Right.
Then one of the things that I do constantly is telling you, oh, I don't have clients, I have brave wolves. Telling my people, just texting in the morning and say, just to tell you I love you.
Right. Yeah.
It's
That's,
just
yes.
that ability. And I was reading what you were saying about that. Do you want to share?
Sure. What am I sharing?
You are sharing like people who supposedly you should not forgive. And I'm like,
Oh, yes. Never forgive. I mean, always forgive. You always forgive, but you never forget. That's what I say. And I say that I learned that through Buddhism because I studied philosophy of Buddhism for 4 years and I've been practicing for 10. And it's very important. For example, I used to forgive people 3 times that were close friends. And now and then still let them in like they're my friend. But now, as I get older, knowing that, I say, okay, uh, if you're doing this like something that's I unpredictable harm, you're saying something, you're talking about people negative, or you're using curse words and oh, I feel horrible afterwards. You know how you talking to me, how you're talking about other people.
oh, how people talk about other people for me, it's a red flag. Like,
Wow. And so I say now, I give them 2 passes,
to
and then
strike.
after that, yeah, two passes. In other words, I'll go, okay, listen, you had a bad day, but it depends on the time period now. If it's in a month's period of time, I will see you, but I won't make a plan to see you. If I pass by you, I will say hello, but you are not anymore in my inner sanctum because my inner sanctum is very sacred. It's very precious. I don't want to become toxic, right? And I don't want to be associated with somebody that, you know, they think, birds of a feather flock together. There's my feathers up there. I don't want to be associated with, oh, she talks like that, so she's probably like that. No, no, no. I'm not going to do it. So forgiving is extremely important, not for the other person, but for yourself, because from holding in resentment, and this even goes, God forbid, like I could say for personal experience, I was molested by 15 boys when I was 8, when I was in the park alone. And that's a horrible, horrible experience. So I'm talking personally. You have to do it, or else you are
You
causing
get,
cancer in yourself. You're
yeah.
causing a dis-ease in yourself. You're harboring it.
We pay a price. I went through similar things. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we
And you have
pay a
to come
very
out on the other side and say what's positive in it,
and
even though that is what makes us the strongest, is that not only to forgive, but I go a step further and I say, you must find something positive out of that story, of that incident. And the positive for me is that I had a connection from when I was 5 months old was the first time I connected with an omniscient being. I'm not saying it's a guardian angel. I'm not saying it's God, but it's something within that sphere. And it spoke to me when I had my first out of body experience where I had died. And I saw myself and it came and it talked to me. And I first time felt I was not alone. So when this thing with the boys happened, that morning he told me to go back to where my mother was because it was dangerous outside. I did. I listened to him. But my mother literally picked me up and threw me out on the street, literally like that, onto the snow, knowing nobody's in the park and I could not go back to her because I already went back once and I got thrown out, literally picked me up like this and threw me out. So I was stuck. And sure enough, I had one of the worst experiences I ever had. And then I says, you know what? That experience, he told me, whatever he warns me, if anything in my power, I'm going to listen to him and I'm going to do like dutifully listen to him and take his advice. And he came to me again and I would get more trust. So amount of trust I had with him grew. And that was the positive out of something horrendous. And through my books, every time something horrendous happens, which I give very, good examples of it. Like I said in my first book, I'm much gentler in my second book. The third book, much more gentler. Even humor came in because I was older. I was able to use humor to see things, to like, oh my goodness, how do I make this funny? This is ridiculous what's going
Yeah.
on.
That
That is what gave me,
yeah.
yeah, that gave me a backbone.
But I'm listening to you, and I don't know, I want to bring something, then I think it's important. And I was watching a podcast the other day with, I don't know if you watch already, with ex sex spy from KGB. And I need to find, I will find her name. She was from Russia, but she looks Asian, and she was trained to be a sex spy, and all what is involved with that.
Mhm.
And one
Wow.
of the main things then she talks is about confidence, even with our, because when women go through certain types of trauma, in special sexual trauma, or the two things, the two worst things that a woman can be in general is a bad mom, or uh, a lady who sell her body, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Naturally,
Mhm.
between that two. And
Mhm.
if you, for some reason, cross that two paths, we need, in the same way, then we need each more time, more examples as beautiful women as you, then say your age and has no issue, because all the generation we need to know, and it's that, like, it's not going to end at 30, like, let's go.
Yeah,
And
that's right. That's right. Life just
it,
begins when you're
yeah,
60.
but at the same time, that can happen. But the message then I think I want to share, and I feel from you, is, but you don't need to allow that to make you less.
That's right.
I have a song, I make a lot of music, then I'm going to say, then it's becoming legendary. And it's like, they can take you all, but they will never take you, if they don't destroy your heart, and you can keep laughing and have humor. And many times laughing, I was like, what more dramatic can happen to me this week, right?
Oh, but
um
don't ever ask a question like that. You know, never to ask that
yes,
question
because
because
it
the
comes back,
universal
it comes back,
smiling on.
it
You have to
comes
say,
back.
you know what? I've had enough. I've had enough. Now, everything I want to learn from the positive way of
Okay.
learning.
Yeah, but you're right. You should never say that. But we are allowed to laugh of if we can laugh, like, I
I have a saying, one who laughs loudest masters pain the best.
yeah.
That's my saying that I write.
And if we can still have, look at us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's
I don't
right.
see my baby girl. She's 11 now, since she's 6. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know where she is. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what she think about it. I know what her dad is telling, but I don't know where she is.
Mm-hmm.
Extra than all the other things. I had very um I was I had a very beautiful capacity to choose great relationships, let's put it like that. And
Mm-hmm.
the great relationships then I decide to finish them. So yeah, very balanced. And you and your books and all your stories, then this is exactly what we are going to talk about, because my ego is controlling this podcast. Um, uh, Look at
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. It's we're still here to tell our story, to show other people that you can do it. I used to do a radio in Fort Lauderdale, and for recovery.
Florida.
Yeah, Fort Lauderdale, Recovery Live Nation.
Mhm.
And I did it for a very short time, but because because as an empath, it was hard for me to, when they had the gathering of everybody there, I really felt like it was a vacuum, so sad of knowing that people really didn't feel that they had hope, that they had lost hope. And I felt that it hurt my heart so badly that it took everything for me to see why do I need to do this, but I couldn't do it anymore. It was just because they didn't have hope. I can help people, we can help people that have hope. And if you have hope, you can, hello, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm
So yeah, so if you
here.
have hope, some kind of hope, you have to, sometimes you can invent it. Sometimes it's right there in your mind. I mean, you can't think of it. Some people are just, that's why I think people that do believe in a higher power, for me, I called it whispers. I actually call it whispers because I hear him speaking to me in
You
my
hear
right.
it from one side. I hear always from the right side.
Yes, that means it's good. If
Yeah.
you heard it from the
I
left,
did
that
not
would
know that.
not be good. But me too. It whispers into my
Always here.
ear.
Always.
Yes.
Okay.
And somebody was asking me the other day, what does it sound like? And I says, it's a knowing that
Yeah,
this
it's annoying. It's annoying. It's
you know it's good. I wouldn't have thought of that. I'm thinking of something else. My mind is thinking over here somewhere, and it'll just come, this voice will come in, and it's a particular voice. His is whispers, but I have because I've been connected with him for such a long time, since 5 months old. I'm writing a story now about when I went to India and the Far East. I had other voices that came in as well, but they were all for the higher good and never ever said anything negative or bad. That's the difference. I want to make sure that people know there's a difference between schizophrenia. That's when people here, pick up the knife and kill somebody.
I never
This
had
is
that.
so opposite of that. It's almost insulting, but I understand. I will, clarify.
I I I'm going to give you a very weird, very, very basic example, but that was the moment then I realized,
Mhm.
then I was conscient. I was in Colombia and I was on a fair, like a business fair with artifacts. Oh, because I used to do when I was in Colombia, because I have nothing to do. I used to do magical boxes. So I used to catch from the forest crystals and things for you based on your chart and what was coming to me, and putting things together. And then so I was looking for providers of things for candles, because the candles are for massage as well. I was on that vibe. The little witch inside of me was on that vibe, and I was loving that.
White witch,
Adore.
white witch, white witch,
Wait,
white witch, not black
and
magic.
and um, I was still struggling with healing, and at the same time I was in a relationship. Then I choose, because when you believe you don't have value, you choose someone who really confirm that. And
Mhm.
I'm on this fair, and we are having a blast. And he tells me that he wants to try. We are almost on the end of the fair, so you can imagine how he's like all kinds of stands, and we are on the part of the pets. And in that moment, we had no dogs or cats, and he wants to go right. And he have been tasting all these beers, so it's like very bubbly already. And I'm on the pet part, and I say, I have nothing to see here. And on the right side, I listen, look to the right and go there. And I went down the stairs after all the BS for dogs, Columbia Love dogs, was a couple, very young, who did work with mushrooms. Not necessarily the magic ones, because to be honest, the magic ones, I had great experience, but the ones that I grow at the story 1 or 2 times, and mushrooms is not the thing that you want to try many times in your life. But they had this aptogenic, this like they the way they grow their mushrooms, they had so I'm living in a mountain and I'm overweight, and I'm struggling, and this girl and this boy, because they are young, were the most beautiful vibration you can imagine. And we are neighbors. We are living on the same street on the mountain, not on the same street on the mountain. And she gives me something that changed my life. Then was Cordyceps militaris. I don't know if you know what this is.
No.
It's a mushroom. It looks like an extraterrestrial. This is a mushroom. It takes. It's not so easy to grow, but it was taken by the Rome Empire. And I don't know, I did not believe in that. I'm very weird. I don't believe in certain things, but then I believe in others. And you take it and it adapts to your body and it gives you, you can imagine. So I just did arrive to the mountain. I'm trying, it's really difficult for me to breathe because it's 9,000 meters high. And, all the things for the same reason that in Peru, in Machu Picchu, they bite the coca leaves, right?
Yeah.
And I don't, that kids, and I call them kids because they are 30, that kids, their lab were full of crystals, and the love they had in each capsule, then then, and you took that and you felt like I could do, I don't know, in miles, 22 miles walking, and I never did walk. And that did start putting me together with reconnecting with Africa and with the plants and learning more about that. And this is a long story, but it was that voice. And in that moment, I specifically
Yes.
was able to identify.
Love it. I love
Yeah.
it. I love to hear that. I think a lot of people have whispers. Some people call it intuition, some people call it gut, but this is, I name it because
Is a whisper, is
it,
literally.
it literally is, and I know it's a man's voice for me.
Yes, for me too,
And
as well.
for me, yeah, it comes at the most.
Weird times out of
It
nowhere.
does, it does. And it has a sense of humor, I tell
Oh,
you.
yeah.
And one time it said to me, I walked into a new place and I was
And
kind of,
some dark sense of humor
it
sometimes.
has this funny, it's like, look at the white man. And I'm looking around, I go, everybody in the room is white. But then I saw somebody that was really, really white.
What?
And I go, oh, he goes, sick, sick. And I said, oh, okay. So then I got to be friendly with the person. I introduced myself and just like to make a friend because I'm new in Colorado. And we went out, we had some coffee, and I didn't tell him, but what my agenda was. My agenda was probably very different from his agenda. My agenda was to know, I have to find out if Whispers, what is Whispers like telling me that he's around, and that he's going to tell me that. Turns out the guy was sick, very, very sick. And
And he was not aware? He did not
and
know it?
he kept it secret, so nobody else knew. But Whispers let me know because
Was
maybe
important for him to listen from other person to do something about it, though, maybe?
It was for me to know that to stay away from him, actually, because he was sick.
Okay.
Like, don't
Okay.
start a relationship
Okay.
with him, or because Whispers didn't even give me a chance. I had just walked in and sat down. He goes, "Look for the white man."
Okay.
What? Oh, as like, oh, that's pasty white. He goes. I said,
Yeah.
"Okay." So I'm going to talk now. The other things is, I have a funny story with Whispers. I was now in Georgia. I lived there for a little while.
Atlanta?
And
No, Georgia. Yeah.
Georgia, that
Yeah.
Russia
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
America. Yeah. And because they had a Buddhist temple, and I moved from Florida to Georgia, Atlanta, so I can go to that Buddhist temple. I wanted to study Buddhism. So that's what I went there for. And I stayed there for 4 years. So I said, okay, I got to get out. I got to meet people. So I get out, I go, and there's a lot of people there. It's a meetup group, it's a safe thing because everybody's a lot of people at one time. And the minute I walk in, there's this little man. I'm 5'9.5". So when I
You
say
are very
little,
tall.
I
Yeah,
am
I'm
very
small.
tall.
I'm small. I'm small. I'm like 5'2" or something like
You're
that.
5'2". So I
Yeah.
have a hard time with how tall people are. I just know if they're smaller than me, I
It's not
or
difficult.
are taller than me, I just make it easier. Usually everybody is smaller than me, shorter than me. So he was wide, very wide, but very short. And he says to me, "Come on, you have to come sit next to me." He goes, "Would you like a drink?" And I says, "No, I don't want a drink. I don't drink." He says, "I'm having a drink." And Whisper said to him, "Uh-oh." I said to me in my ear, "Uh-oh." And I said to him, I don't know you, but are you sure you want to have a drink? And because Whisper said "uh-oh" to me, and he says, "Yeah, I'm gonna drink it up. I'm gonna drink it up tonight." And I heard Whisper say to me, "Well, he's gonna be dead in 6 months." And I said, "Okay." And then he took my phone number. I took his phone number. He led the group. And he would ask me out on a date. I said, "No, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm doing my
How
spirit."
old are you on that moment? Do you remember?
I was around 58,
Okay.
57. Yeah.
Okay.
And it turned out
He was dead in six
he
months.
was dead in 6 months. And I even knew why. It was the liver. Whispers had
It's
told me
it.
the drinking with
I
the
don't
liver.
know about you, but I'm curious, and we should be talking about books, and we are talking about whispers, and it says
But Whispers is a part of my book. So
um
it's
and
all related.
and
It's good.
I I always was I always had that certainty. Then I think it's the first before you
A
are
knowing,
aware,
a knowing,
knowing,
a knowing,
knowing, yeah, a knowing. And
a
sometimes
knowing.
it's like it's ridiculous. When I met my ex-husband,
It's called
I
clear cognizance.
I
It's
did know, and I
Mhm.
did not want it. I said, no, it's no way.
Uh-huh,
No
uh-huh.
way. But then I don't know if you went through this, but people who know me, I had this thing maybe because I grew up alone without a lot of kids, and like I had the full country against me. I don't really care with what people think about me, so I care with what people I love think about me.
Yes,
So
uh-huh.
in this moment, I will really care with what you think about me. I mean, it's not what I'm saying, but normally I don't care, and I always say, "Don't pay my bills. I really don't have to lose my time with you."
Yeah.
So, but I always had that thing. Then people did think I was crazy.
That's okay.
And I was like, but I never did care. It's like, oh, in 2 weeks we are going, or next month we are going to move to Madrid, and we had, I don't know, $200 on the bank account, and we are
Mm-hmm.
going to live on Gran Via, and then is the main, and we are
Mm-hmm.
going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Or and this is such a cool one. I'm Portuguese, I'm a DJ, I'm stuck in Portugal. And I'm on the cinema and I see the billboard of eating, praying, and loving eating and
Oh,
praying.
eat, pray, and love. I
Love
kept
it.
getting that
Yeah,
message yesterday. Now I know
yeah,
why.
yeah.
I
And I
can now I
see,
know why. Now I can get
I'm
it.
coming down to buy popcorns, and I
Uh-huh.
look it, and I swear to you, out of impossibility, I even did not spoke English well. Like, I'm still learning. I'd, I look to my ex husband and I tell him, we are going to India to play. I'm going to India to play in 2 months. We are going to spend, and the beautiful moment is I arrived to India, so I used to go after that. I used to go to India at an, Christmas time. Then was 3 times better paid. So I used to do Christmas with the kids on King's Days,
Mhm.
and the good thing of cultures. And I arrived to India. I lost my bag. They take me to a hotel, then it's not New Delhi. I like, oh, and I'm mad.
Mhm.
I'm mad, and I'm fighting with the manager. I'm cold. I don't know why I did think India was hot, but so like it's all of this, and I'm on the middle. You know how chaotic it is.
Yes.
I don't understand that traffic. Like how they survive. There is something that
No.
is at the level,
That's
and
fine.
I see the elephant, and I stop. I ask to stop and I went, oh, I think I can find somewhere footage of that. And I go out of the and I touch, you know the feeling. I don't know if you ever touch one, and you put your
Yes.
head against him,
Oh,
and
oh, nice.
and
Wow.
is that is probably one of the first times then I really stop caring with what people say. Oh, you are crazy. No, I'm not crazy. It's going to happen. I
Right.
know it.
It's a
I,
knowing,
I
and the
just
people
I
that
know it.
know, people that know. And I think that other cultures outside of America have more open-mindedness and sharing of these things. I don't know what that is about. Maybe because our culture is 250 years old as opposed to much
or
older
or
cultures.
because, for example, I know then I lost it all thousands of times, but I know I always make it back even better.
Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Oh, well,
So
that's
I arrived. My
good to even just, even if it's not true, it's always good to say that. And then on top of that, they say, act as if.
yeah,
You know,
but
say
I'm
one day I will be. I am rich. Okay, I'm not going to
no,
spend
I
money like a
really
guy,
believe I
but
can access to that AM machine of the
that,
universe. Like,
that's
and
funny.
is a very weird thing for people, and
Uh-huh.
special people who are very materialistic. If you are married with one, would
Mm.
always say, "Why? But so do make more money as we don't need more money. We have enough. When we need more money." If one day, and this did happen, we did need $100,000 in 24 hours, and I make it happen.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well, then you are really blessed. You really are blessed. That is a good thing. That is a good thing.
but
But
then people ask you how you do it, and
you're able to do it. And I think that that's something that comes also from another time and space. Like for me, writing, I know that when I write, sometimes I'm channeling. This is, we could speak. Uh, I'm channeling a man from a different century, I think from the 1600s. And because he has beautiful clothes on. I could see what he's wearing. He's wearing a green robe, a beard, and a mustache, whole thing. But, and by candlelight. And I'm like, boy, and I have a computer now. This is great. I'm making it easier for us. Because you tend to redo the things that you're familiar with. It's in your DNA or it's in your for the lack of a better term, Buddhists don't believe in a soul. They call it something else. It's more like your luminos, your light, and and you tend to redo the things over again. That for me brings me great joy. So it's not like some kind of penance that I have to pay. I'm alone a lot on
I'm alone a
purpose.
lot.
I'm alone a lot because I'd rather be alone and writing and enjoying. I'm laughing and crying and neuro aligning myself, which is healing through my writing and learning what is it that happened in my life and how to see it as in a better light. Because so much happened to me so fast as a kid every day with my mother that it's nice that now that she's gone, at 60, I kind of had a rebirth because now is when I was able to sit down and not listen to any more noise from her, anymore her putting me down or, trying to twist my mind and telling me there's no such thing as God, there's no such thing as spirituality. She was very dark, right? But the war damaged her. So, and it's okay because I chose this life and we were matched for a reason. I picked my mother and it's all good. That's another reason why I love her, because if I say that I don't love her, that means I'm stupid in a way because I don't acknowledge such a highly powerful thing, right?
There
And
is
people,
many people who don't understand. I know what you mean. Then we choose our parents, and um, we we basically we have the contract, and we choose to pass and to be. Um, I need to send you that song that I did, Becoming Legendary, because I think the biggest win for people who had the opportunity, let's put it like this, because not everyone could endure half. And I try to go away many times, and I normally don't fail in things, and I did fail constantly. So I arrived to the conclusion then probably no, it was not to do it. But when you are writing and a person is reading, in special something as what we are talking like, then for us is so obvious and so normal. Majority of people probably they don't want, or they are trained, they don't understand what is, they judge themselves, and at the same time they don't know how to use it.
Mhm.
And um and
Yeah.
it's as well knowing then you are not alone, and I think that is the most
It's
beautiful thing.
and the thing is that when people read, let's say my first book, and they get to something that's really hard. I've got the experience of my mother seeing people getting shot at the same time, and I go into detail. I one thing about me as a writer is when other people draw away, that's when I go in and go straight into hardcore detail. At the same time that she's getting that flashback, she's beating the living daylights out of me until I'm unconscious. And I remember the blow by blow. And so I recall that. So those two scenes at putting it together in one, uh, I think that with that, I find that people that are stronger and that have gone through things, they will see the beauty that comes from the turmoil. It's like after the rain is when the sunshine comes. It doesn't mean the world is over. What is it that actually saved that person, and see the beauty through the ugly? And that's the trick in life, right?
Yeah.
That's find the beauty. For example, I mean, my goodness, if you go to, I saw something a long time ago, it was a documentary, and they were taking cow dung in this country, and we would maybe shovel it, and maybe some people here, I have some in the backyard. Uh, I keep the bag. It's a reminder to me that, you know, life could be like this, but
Mhm.
Yeah, but there's fertilizer. You could use it for fertilizer. Other people in another country could build a house out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take a picture of that and see how,
I'm going to give you another version, totally different of the same thing. I did live in Amsterdam, so next to not the center, a little side, where supposedly was very posh. You know, when you are from out of the country, you don't have that conception of what is Manhattan like,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
No, it's yes, this village is, and I'm looking and I'm like, okay. But every Monday morning, you woke up with a stinky smell to
Oh,
cow. And I was like, I remember, I pay 4,500 euros per month to smell. And you guys are telling me then this is the best? What is the part? You see, it's the difference of cultures.
yes, it's
It,
about different cultures. I mean, people in London, you'd look back, I think in the 1800s, and it was all like that on the street. Like high heels was actually invented
to
so
not.
that you don't step in it. So, that's something good that came out of something bad. And
Always,
like
but
Louis the 14th, I
always.
think was the first one to wear the high heels.
Oh
And
yeah,
he used to do
yeah.
that in the
The
castle.
men used to use high heels
Yes,
on the French
the men
courts.
did it
Yeah,
first. Yeah,
yeah.
Louis XIV
Louis 14. Louis
at the
14 is the.
Versailles at the Versailles. I mean, we wouldn't want to be. People say, "Oh, I want to live back." I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. You ate at the table. People defecated at the table.
No, the king is
They walked.
pooing. The king is
Yes,
pooing is having a meeting.
yes.
Like, yeah, and I just at the same time, I just feel then life is each time less complicated.
And then it's complicated more other
It's
ways, like robots
complicated
coming in.
more for the new generations.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I have been without electricity. I grew up without electricity many times.
Okay, yeah.
And I don't know what is going on with me, but when my levels, like it's Toulon, I was for 21 days not being able to do my work because I never did know when I had electricity or not.
Oh,
Here
yeah, the
coming,
hormone
so
flashes, the hormone
yeah.
flash.
So I moved to Europe, and last year I don't know if you know that Portugal and Spain full blackout, and I am on Airbnb who opens with an electric door, and then you realize then without electricity there is no signs, there is nothing, you cannot pay with your card anymore, you cannot unlock, so it's all the magical things then people think, oh, having no electricity, like, yeah, but you know what, you
Yeah.
really feel happy when your house have electricity.
That's right. I lived through a hurricane, really bad one that came and destroyed our house totally. And we had a month, and I had a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. And it was rough because we had a paper cup that luckily I said, let's fill all the water, bathtubs with water, so that when it's if it happens that we don't have electricity and we don't have water, at least we can wash ourselves. So each time you got a cup of water to wash yourself for a whole month like that. And food was very weird because there was no food and there was no place to go get food because the restaurants were closed. And yeah, but what came out of it is, wow, when it came on, it was fabulous. But at the same time, it was fun for me, and my kids had fun because I had lots of candles, and at night we would play little board games and, play with pennies and things that the TV might have taken them away from me. We
100%.
got to bond. Yeah. So you
100%.
have to make something good. If you can make something good in the darkest moment, plus that tells you who you are. I remember after I was divorced, I was really devastated because I was like, okay, now my kids are kind of sort of grown up, so they don't really need me that much. I'm not a wife. I'm not really a mother. I'm not a housewife anymore. Well, what am I? I really had a little bit of a crisis, and then I read something that says, in the time of crisis is when you find out who you are.
Mhm.
And I says, okay, well, okay, that's it started to introspect, how am I dealing with things? People were telling me I'm doing well, and I said, okay, I'm just to take that and run with it. I'm doing well. And I kept repeating, I'm doing well, I'm doing well.
No,
And
it's just the fact then you went through so much. And we obviously we are going to share all the links for the three books and whatever you are preparing more. We did not talk in detail about nothing, but I know then any person then is people don't buy our products, they buy our energy. And
Mm,
if there is something, then was a moment here,
mhm.
was then I don't, if I was watching this, is that I don't know what is the book about, but I need to read.
Oh, that's good.
And,
Yeah. I
and
think it's a page
it's,
turner.
it's, because you are hope.
Yes, the embodiment of hope. That's wonderful. My Buddhist name, I was renamed Complete Joy. So I like that.
You are hope. You are hope. And no,
Yeah.
we, if we need something on the world right now,
Oh,
is
yeah.
hope,
Mhm.
courage, and love, and
Love.
gratitude.
Yes. Love, love. If there's one word that, if you're in a worry and you're anxious, and what you can do is if you could just say, I am love, I am the embodiment of love. That and and then just go from the positive. I just say,
I love
I
to do that with tapping. Did you ever did tapping? I need to invite
yeah,
you to. Did you?
yeah,
I am I do tapping. I do sessions of tapping, and
yeah,
well I need to invite you to one so we can have fun because it's
yeah,
beautiful because it's the opposite of saying affirmations. You go from the negatives and then you say even though then. I deeply and completely love and respect
that's
and
right.
adore myself, and I'm the badass of whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm a Reiki master, so I work
oh,
with
me
them
too.
that way. Oh, you okay? So you get it. And then when I do it, do you get it? I get whispers always comes in when I do a Reiki. That's an
I,
interesting thing.
I, I, I have. I don't know if you have that. Is your body always very hot?
I
My
run hotter than
body,
this. Yes. Yes.
my mom. No, I'm that kind of person. Then from my mom to my husband's, many times they say it's impossible to sleep with you.
I am so hot that one time I sat on a magazine, so I'm not sitting on plastic. And the magazine that thick, I'm not kidding. When I got up, it was stuck, it was ironed into the plastic of the chair.
So, yeah,
The
healing
one
with
hot.
the hands is a very, it's like I said to you, it's like looking to you, it's looking to family. Make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Like
Kindred sisters, soul sisters.
we are made of the
Yeah.
same material. I don't
Yes.
know how to explain very well.
Yes. I,
I normally have my last question is a message to your younger self.
okay.
I don't know if you want to answer that.
Yes, I do. I do. I like that. So I have remain to my younger self, remain the light and shine in the darkness. Know that good people bring happiness, bad people bring experiences, worse people bring lessons, and the best people leave memories. And
And
that way, knowing that, Nancy, that's me, you will be able to have love in your heart for everyone because you see everyone's purpose.
Yeah. Thank you
Thank you.
so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to say bye to these people, bite you properly in 1 second. I feel that I need to kidnap Nancy again, so we talk about books. We need to do a second part if you don't mind, because I really have a lot to keep asking you, and my ego totally did uh,
Oh, we
did
had a nice conversation.
we like I hijack and it should be a shame, but I'm not. So thank you so much for being there on that side. I promise I will bring Nancy back. I love you guys. Keep living your dreams and make it happen. See you on the next one. Bye bye.